I asked this question because I wanted to ask you, now that the other alternate routes are going to be busier than usual, when was the last audit you did on those other routes?
Now, those other routes, for your information, when we were even meeting as a committee, part of the things we told the contractors is that we need to do a quick audit on these roads, surveillance on the roads, and identify failed portions so that they can carry out some palliatives before this exercise. Remember that this exercise had been shifted once. And now we did all those things. We drove through, they brought a bus, and we all entered the bus, and we were identifying failed portions. And we insisted that those failed portions have to be fixed before we can carry on this exercise, because we know that by the time the pressure is now on all those places that you see as small potholes, if you come out tomorrow, it will become a ditch. And they were faithful enough, they did it.
Okay. Now, how often should these audits be going on? Or how often do you have those?
Like I said, I do mine quarterly. When you do, you pass the result. But remember that some of these processes, it's not just like now, some of the processes involved in this is not as easy as you think. If you look at the Apapa Access Road, for example, Creek Road, all through Tinkan Coconut, down to, that road had been awarded long time. But the procurement process is not just that as easy as ABCD. It follows due process. The due process have to be there before you get to the
procurement could take up to 10 years?
No, that is not that it can take up to 10 years. You could see what happened on that road when the vice president came and on the spot. And by the next, this thing, I think there was a fast tracking of the procurement process. And as we speak now, the contractor has moved to site.
Okay, because in trying to understand the degree of what needs to be done on the third mainland bridge, this is the first phase to carry out that test.
Exactly.
After this test, a lot of people before even the announcement of the 3-day closure was that it will be closed for about 24 months. And people got really agitated.
No.
Hold on. Let me land.
Yes.
People got really agitated because when these results come out now, we don't know how many months it will be closed for. But how well are you positioned to ensure that even though it's going to be for 6 months, perhaps, hopefully, maybe just a month, that we're able to maintain the patience and control traffic even better?
Let me just correct something, because I remember when that report filtered out, I don't know from which source, people said it will be closed down for... No, that was not correct. If you listen to the federal controller in your prologue that we showed before this thing, he told you after this test, he said some of these expansion joints are okay, some are not okay. Those identified as not being okay will need to be replaced. They will also need to go down and go and check the pillars holding these bridges and find out if there are a need for maintenance. It's not as if you are rebuilding a new bridge. It's just maintenance. And we have had this exercise before. You recall vividly, in 2010 we had one, 2015 we also had one. And what we have always been doing within those periods is partial closure. It's not that you now come and you close everything at the two segments at the same time. What we have always done is you close one side, then when they finish replacing the expansion joint of that side, they will now open it and will come over to this side and they replace. It's not going to be that. There's never a time in all our meetings, the federal controller never said, and the contractors never said that we are going to close the bridge totally for that long period. No, it's not correct.
Okay. When would the Qatar bridge get the kind of attention that the third mainland bridge is getting? Qatar and Eko Bridge. Do you have an idea when that will happen? They
have always had their various maintenance, routine maintenance, this thing differently. But also, you remember that the maintenance is also predicated upon the usage and, of course, the weight. That each of these two bridges do not carry the same weight. And that's why we have always been advocating. You see, this issue of dead traffic on these bridges is not good for their stability. Qatar Bridge, for once,
you're taking us to
don't have that kind of...
Qatar Bridge doesn't have any dead weight.
Yes, it doesn't have dead weight.
But before Qatar Bridge, you have the dead weight on Ojuelegba. Let me use Ojuelegba overhead bridge, for instance. There are trucks parked on that bridge.
Okay.
That go all the way down.
Okay.
There are some other smaller bridges that have trucks parked on them.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to that dead weight? At the end of the day, more vehicles are going to be coming on that axis with this diversion now. Okay. So there's going to be more weight on those bridges. What's going to happen by the time we're done with this and Third Mainland Bridge opens up? That's
why if you look at what we have already hampering on all this, why? Let me be frank with you here. All these bridges were not designed to have those dead traffic on them. And that's why we keep on saying that we need to get off these trucks off our bridges. If you look at what we have done in recent times, you discover that we now line up these trucks. When we get to a bridge, we skip and go to the other one so that we don't have people on these trucks on it as before. So when these other ones move, we will now beckon from here. They will come and fill in the gap here. That is simply to ensure that we do not have those dead weight on these bridges, because it's only a question of time. You start seeing that the joints and all these things will start giving weight, will start affecting the road. And that's why we must continue to emphasize the need for something urgent to be done in terms of anybody that is going into the port to do business. MPA should come out with a clear-cut directive there. You cannot enter the port, or you should not enter the port, if we do not have a confirmation that you have a holding bay where your truck is coming from.
Thank you very much. We've been speaking to the Legal Sector Commander, Mr. Hyginus Umeje, about the closure of the Third Mainland Bridge and the alternate route and how traffic would be managed. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
It's a pleasure.
So I said we'll be back in a moment. Please don't go away.